never seen a day like this. And I think that that's important to remember. Today is a day to remember, a day of reflection. 21 years ago, we were innocent. We were invulnerable. Our country had not been attacked since Pearl Harbor, and no one ever saw an attack like this happening as it did. In all, 2,996 people died on that beautiful morning, and when that day started, only 19 that they would not live. And we're not going to talk about that. At the World Trade Center, 2,360 civilians died. Another 189 died at the Pentagon, and 44 died in the desolate field of Pennsylvania. In these numbers are 343 New York City firefighters, 37 Port Authority police officers, and 23 New York City police officers. All of them died so that others could live. And since that day, of all the rescue workers and recovery workers involved at Ground Zero, another 4,343 people have died of 9/11 related illness. But that's the bad part. So many were saved. It is estimated that over 15,000 people were saved that day at Ground Zero by the actions of those that responded. 15,000 people alive because of firefighters, police officers, EMS workers, safety managers in the World Trade Center, and ordinary people that decided to step up and do what they could do to make a difference. Imagine how much worse things could have been. As time marches on, our memories fade and things become less important. It isn't willful, it isn't intentional, it's just a fact of life. It happens with so many things, and it's why ceremonies like today are so important. We can never forget the sacrifice or the loss of that day. We can never forget the actions that saved so many. We can never forget the stories of firefighters like Pete Bylefield, the 42 truck. Off duty and nowhere near his firehouse, Pete Bylefield stopped in the ladder 10, grabbed a set of gear, and left a note on the counter saying, Pete Bylefield, ladder 42, tell my family I love them. He and another firefighter began to walk out the door at 10 truck. Pete went right, and firefighter Dan Potter was stopped by somebody who said, the building's coming down. Dan Potter lived. Pete Bylefield was never seen again. There are so many stories like Pete's of people that put themselves in harm's way to try and save others. Those are the stories we need to remember. September 11th wasn't just an attack on New York City or Washington, D.C. or Shanksville, Pennsylvania. It was an attack on America. And in its wake, we responded as we've always responded to adversity. We banded together, we loved a little more, and we sought to avenge the deaths of those innocent souls murdered on that day. From the first firefighter killed that day to the last of over 7,600 soldiers killed in the war on terrorism that followed. Every one of them deserves that as a nation we will never forget the 21 years ago and every year since the sacrifices that have been made. We owe it to all of them to continue to tell their stories, to remember that day and to honor their memory. Thank you.